Okay, we should start. And there's more space in the front, by the way, guys. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Yusuf Khalidi. I am here with many of our team in the back, actually, to tell you about some exciting announcements we have been doing in the Azure networking space. We have a full presentation. You'll be hearing from also today a couple of our partners and a couple of our customers on the stage. So I'm going to go through a bunch of features, stuff we delivered based on your feedback. Some folks will join me on stage, and hopefully we'll have a very nice presentation. At the end, I'll show you a table of 6 more sessions in this space. So given this is only one session, I'm going to do a breadth, quick overview of everything we're announcing new. Then I'm going to give you the roadmap for the rest of the event, where you can go much deeper in each one of the sessions. So guys, as you probably know, we have been moving fast. The last 12 months, we shipped a bunch of stuff based on your feedback around scale, simplicity, security, monitoring, and so forth. It's an eye chart. Don't worry about it. What we are announcing today are exciting new features. This is it, guys. So if you have to leave, this is the one slide you need to remember. 22 features. Some are brand new services, like the DDoS prevention service. Others are incremental features, but ones that have been very highly asked for. I'm going to spend, again, the rest of the hour on this one slide. But I want to give you the themes before I move on. You see the categories: security, connectivity, monitoring, availability, and performance. These are sort of self-evident. But if you look carefully, you see that the common theme across these categories are 2 things. Simplifying things. We have been investing quite a bit in making things simpler. We have a lot of features in the platform, and frankly, some of them were hard to use. So you're going to see time and again, one-click deployment of a feature, one-click configuration of a certain service, and so forth. So simplicity is going to be a common theme you'll see here. The other theme is scale. I'll be honest with you, we have a new load balancer that's 10x the scale of the previous one. So you're going to see simplicity and scale throughout this presentation. Okay? Now, I want to give you an update on the physical infrastructure first, then the bulk will be about the logical APIs and features and the like. You guys probably know this. We have one of the biggest wide area networks on the face of the earth. Today, we have 42 announced Azure regions. Each one is multiple buildings with its own network, which I'll show you in a second. We have high ISP internet connectivity, more than 8,000 sessions of IPv4, IPv6. In other words, when you connect to us over the internet, you're going to come through some ISP. We have very well connectivity around the globe. Smaller ISPs, maybe one connection somewhere. The big ones, multiple connections across continents. We have close to 130 edge sites. That's what constitutes if you will, the boundary of our network. If you pick up your phone now and hit azure.com or Bing or Office or your VNet, we're in Orlando, we're probably going to go to Miami, and that's it. You're on our WAN. You stay in our WAN. We have 44 Express Class locations and growing. And we have been increasing our footprint, if you will. Today, we are around 33,000 miles of lit fiber around the globe. Just imagine this. This is almost 30% more miles than last year, and we've been upgrading the optics, so the capacity is higher as well. And as you probably know, same network that runs everything in Microsoft. All your applications, all your services you consume from Microsoft, be they your virtual machines, Office 365, Bing, etc. So we get scale. We've been investing quite a bit in diversity of paths. What this means, it's high availability, to be honest. Every single colo building has at least 2 paths connected out of it. These are typically physical, fiber, separated. And we actually care where they are in the ground. It doesn't make sense to have 2 connections in the same conduit. They have to be separate. Regions typically have 3 connections. And for some connections, like subsea cables, we have 4 or more. When a subsea cable is cut, as you probably know, we have to hire a ship, go somewhere in the ocean. 2 or 3 weeks later, they fix the cable. So we need to have multiple of them. We've been also investing a lot in optics. You see this thing as speeds. I'll show you the speeds in a second. And everything in Azure, guys, everything in Azure is software controlled. We buy switches from many of our partners, but we view them as very fast and frankly, dumb switches. All the intelligence is in the software. Tell you more about our regional networks. I didn't show this before. In a given region, say US East, your favorite region, whatever it might be, it's actually built out of multiple buildings. Between those buildings, we have a very fast network we call the regional network. It's up to 1.6 petabits per second of bandwidth, aggregate bandwidth, that's within the same region. This is possible because of our investment in optics, guys. So you have around 2 millisecond latency, regardless which building you're in. Actually, your VMs, if you have 2 of them, they could be 2 separate buildings. You don't know that. The bisection bandwidth of this network is quite high. And of course, we have a lot of diversity for the rest of the WAN. In total, we have almost 2 million miles of fiber in our DCs. Just imagine this number, guys. 2 million miles of fiber in our DCs. You need this. I'm not sure how big supercomputers are nowadays, but this is probably one of the biggest on the face of history. Anyway, I told you about the physical stuff, speeds and wires and optics and the like. And you know what, guys? The only way you can use them is through this picture instead. So as you know, in Azure, everything is done through virtual networks. An abstraction that makes your network appear as just yours, and you can run it anywhere. And you can get to it through the internet, through those 8,000 ISP sessions, or through backend connectivity, express route and the like. So you can define these virtual networks and then place them around the globe, one of the 42 regions around the globe. And once you place them around the globe, you can connect them as you see fit. You can reach them to the internet. You can use something like Azure Traffic Manager to do global load balancing. You can use Azure CDN for static content distribution. You can use ExpressRoute for private connectivity, bypassing the internet completely. You can use one of our VPN services to go over the internet, but securely. And as I will announce shortly, you can now also do global peering of VNets. Take a VNet in one location, another location, and globally peer them. So let's talk now about the new features, guys. So the format now is very simple. Every section, feature, feature, feature. Talk to see our partners and customers. Then I'll tell you how to get more information. Security. So guys, for a long time, we are now today on our 3rd generation of a DDoS protection system behind the covers. So guys, it's no big secret, but we, like everybody else, are attacked every day. We have 300 to 400 attacks per day against Microsoft. Luckily, you don't hear about them because it's business as usual for us. We take care of it. Last Christmas, we had a huge attack against Xbox. I think only our team knows about it because we took care of it. So we've been doing this business of DDoS protection for a long time because we have to. And the way it works, by the way, is that we have our own software, etc., but we use the global capacity, bandwidth of the global WAN to absorb the attacks. So even if an endpoint in, say, Singapore is being attacked, I can use capacity in Australia to absorb the traffic and so forth. So this has been there for a long time. What we're announcing at this event is that now we have a DDoS prevention service per VNet for your VNets. It's very simple to configure. One click, you say, my public endpoints in this VNet should be protected by the Azure DDoS prevention service. It is per VNet, you decide which ones. We have automatic mitigation for a large number of attacks. Remember our history, guys. We have learned. The very smart people out there who attack us all the time. have a lot of respect to their IQ, don't get me wrong. But we're learning also from their attacks on us. So the service does layer 3, layer 4 protection, and you can combine it with the App Gateway WAF, the Web Application Firewall, to do layer 7 as well. And we'll be bundling them together as well, so you get a discount if you're using the WAF, so because we want you to protect your application as well as the layer 4 network. We do a lot of adaptive tuning and understanding what is your normal level for your application. We actually use a lot of machine learning in this space. And very importantly, we show you the information. We integrate closely with Azure Monitor for analytics. We tell you what things going on, and you can tell exactly, I'm being attacked, this was happening to me, and so forth. It's quite exciting, to be honest. And again, there's a session this afternoon, actually, probably I think an hour from now, that goes in much more details about this service. Okay? I have to move quickly, guys. So this is an old slide. We have application gateway. It's a layer 7 ADC, application controller, basically. It does layer 7 routing, HTTP round robin, URL path, and so forth. It does SSL termination for security, a bunch of features in there as well, and always had good diagnostics informations, logging per request, and so forth. We have been adding more features to these two. So this is new. Your response of using this application gateway has been quite good, by the way, guys. So we're investing more in it. For the app gateway itself, we've added more policy control. You have a lot more control over your SSL policies, which protocols, which ciphers you want to apply, which ciphers you don't want to apply. Some of you are in controlled industries, and you have to know this cipher is not appropriate for me, or this one has to be there, so you get fine control now. We have redirection now. We also now can use App Gateway with Azure Web Apps. That was highly asked for feature, by the way, so you can combine them now. You can front web apps with the application gateway. On the web front, we've added new security module in there, 3.0. Newer technology there for handling attacks. You can now have more finer control over the rules, disabling and enabling the rules, and even better integration both for logging and Azure Security Center as well. And again, guys, like everything else in this presentation, these are optional services. So you can use our WAF if you want to, or you can use any of the WAFs in the Azure Marketplace. So we partner with everybody almost in the industry you know of. And today we're also showing that F5 just announced this as well. They have built an F5 WAF as a service on Azure. It's built on Azure, provided as a service from F5. I'm going to show you a short video from F5 now.
Applications are your business. They connect you to your customers. They deliver your products. They're critical tools that empower your employees. And because of this, they need to be protected. But how? Running a web application firewall is a great solution, but maintaining a WAF infrastructure and dealing with the inevitable false positives can be a burden on your team. That's where F5 comes in. F5's mission is to help protect your applications from threats. Today, you're running more and more applications in Microsoft Azure because it gives you the power, flexibility, and speed to meet your changing business needs. And working together, F5 and Microsoft Azure are previewing a new way to protect your apps. F5 WAF as a service combines the powerful protection of an enterprise-grade WAF with the simplicity of an API-driven service, making it easier than ever to protect your apps without maintaining a WAF infrastructure. From the Azure Marketplace, you can deploy the F5 WAF as a service quickly and easily to protect your web application. During deployment, you can select from several pre-configured base policies. These policies contain thousands of complex rules to protect your web application. Once the WAF service is configured, the built-in behavioral learning algorithms go to work, automatically managing all those complex rules without anyone on your team ever having to touch the service. Logging into the self-service portal, you can view a list of the applications you've configured behind the WAF service. From there, you can see the value the F5 WAF service is providing to the application. Click on an application to see its threat and performance statistics. To easily manage all the threats for that application, just choose Violations from the menu. It's that simple. And to make sure that your application keeps working as intended, choose Logs from the menu to manage violations that affect the operation of your apps. Welcome to the new age of the Web Application Firewall, only possible with F5 on Azure.
This is available today as in private preview, and please contact F5 if you want more information as well. So talking more about security features in Azure. Because I told you I'm going to go quickly here. It's a bunch of things I want to cover. This has been very highly asked for feature, by the way. So the issue today, the challenge many of you have, is that you want to use PaaS services from Azure. You want to use the storage endpoint. You want to use the SQL endpoint. But by definition, these PaaS services are internet-facing. They have to be accessible from the internet. Yet many customers have been asking us, can I lock down access to my storage, to my SQL endpoint, from within my VNet? In other words, I want only my VNet to be able to access my storage endpoint. And I'm pleased to say that today we have it. It's called VNet Service Endpoints. It's available today in preview for storage and for SQL. And soon it's going to be rolled out for many, many other services, including Key Vault, Cosmos DB, and others. And basically what it gives you is that the PaaS service endpoint is only accessible to your VNet. So you can build a topology where your VNet can be totally closed and can only talk to the storage system, for example, and the storage system can only accept requests from your VNet. And as I said, the plan is to roll this thing out throughout our portfolio of services. Did a session tomorrow on this. You'll be surprised how easy to configure this. You literally can go to a portal, couple of clicks, and you're done. And you can do it in multiple ways, but it's really very straightforward to configure this. So again, I'll show you the schedule in a second, and there's a hefty, I think, 20-minute presentation, all the details here, what works and what the roadmap is and so forth. Okay? And again, for some scenarios, especially in cases where your compliance needs are quite high, you will need something like this. Another area which many of you have been asking, and frankly clamoring for, is simplifying network security group management. For those of you who know what NSGs are, you can use them to control, you can almost do microsegmentation within a VNet or subnets. You can control access. They're very powerful, but I have to admit, until these features, they were hard to use. So I'm pleased to say now we have 3 features that will ease the manageability and usage of NSGs, configuration of NSGs. We have service tags. These are symbolic names that you can use instead of IP addresses. So in this table, internet, storage, these are symbolic names. We maintain the IP addresses of all the storage in Azure. And you can decide to say, I want to lock, I will allow traffic, say, to storage, or a given region of storage, by the way. So service tags are tags that Microsoft maintained, and they represent IP address ranges behind them without you having to go figure what the IP addresses are, or maintain them, or enter them by hand, whatever the case may be. Application security groups are user-defined. So you can define groups of VMs and use those in NSG roles. So in the figure, web servers on the left-hand side, database servers on the left-hand side, and so forth. These are user-defined labels. You define them, and then you can apply them inside the NSG rules in the table on the right-hand side. The third simplification are the so-called augmented NSG rules. Not the best name, guys, but it's okay. But basically, it's a simplified way to do the rules expressions. If you remember how these things were done up until today, you had to enter all the IP addresses by hand. It's error-prone. Now we can do things like the example you see under destination column in the table. And again, guys, there's a whole session on this thing tomorrow. But this will make your NSG management hopefully much simpler. You will not have to know in some cases what the IP address ranges are. Just use a service tag for that. And we're going to be investing more in this space as well. So come to the session tomorrow. We'll tell you more about the roadmap for this area as well. OK, so I covered the sort of security space, in-house, third parties, and so forth. I want to tell you now about our new load balancer. So as you probably know, from day one in Azure, we always had a built-in load balancer, which will continue to be available, guys. But we have new scenarios now in scale, availability zones, and some other scenarios in which we had to do a brand new architecture. So it will look to you as if like the current one in terms of APIs, there's no change. But behind the covers, and it's a different, if you will, SKU, we now have the new load balancer. It has 4 value propositions, if you will, 4 reasons why you want to use it. First, scalability. It is at least 10x the scale of our current load balancer. So instead of having a backend pool of 100 VMs, you can go an order of 1,000 VMs. Some of you in this room want more than that, I know. Give me a call. We can probably enable it for you. But the key technology point is that this thing can really scale now. Many of you have been using bigger and bigger pools, and now it's not of an issue to be honest. And there are other metrics we can now do almost 10x with as well. The other thing is quite unique in the industry. We now have anycast support for the endpoint for your IP address within a given region. So your load balance IP address can be anycast IP address, which really means when a failure happens between an AZ and another AZ, the failover can be just like that, very quick. Others, by the way, in the industry use a DNS scheme here with time to live issues or whatever. We went all the way and we've done it right. So this is quite unique as well. So you can have a single IP across AZs that fails over very, very quickly. We've also simplified drastically NVA resiliency, network virtual appliances. Any of you who had to take an NVA and make it highly available in Azure, you know it has not been easy. You have to get 2 of them at least, find a third-party solution like maybe a Zookeeper cluster and figure out how to do failover and the like. We now have a very simple configuration. It's called HA ports, high availability ports. You configure them for your internal load balancer. You can put a couple of NVAs behind them. It will do all the work for you. Again, the whole session on this tomorrow. Again, guys, if you ever had to do an HA NVA in Azure, now your life will become much, much simpler. Lastly, with the new architecture, we have much better diagnostics, health information, logging. The screenshot on the right-hand side is a production screenshot. We have multidimensional metrics now. You can know a lot more about your application as well. This, by the way, this project has been in a pipeline for 2 years. So this is a major rewrite, and as far as you're concerned, you will not see much of a difference other than those dimensions. So there will be no API change per se. That's by design. Okay? Again, session on this tomorrow. Let's talk performance. It's something we've been really pushing. Last year, we announced 25 gigabit per second between VMs, and today we're announcing 30 gigabits per second per VMs. This is the fastest of any public cloud on the face of the earth that I know of. Actually, it's probably faster than most of us in this room can do in our own lab. You can take 2 VMs in Azure, as long as it's the right SKU, and you can get amazing bandwidth within the region. This is VM to a VM. Moreover, we have expanded the scope in which accelerated networking now applies to. So we started with 8 core VMs, now we're announcing 4 core VMs, and soon we're going to go down to 2 core VMs. So you'll get the acceleration, different speeds, of course, as the number of cores you have, all the way down to 2 cores, at no additional cost. You already pay us for the VM SKU itself. So I'm not going to charge you more for this stuff if you want. Again, there's a session, half of which on this subject. If you really care about performance, bandwidth, or latency, or low jitter, we have the best platform anywhere for this. And as a proof point, we're also investing in DPTK. So DPTK is an industry standard for high-performance packet processing. If you do anything like a firewall, an MVA, and the like, you need this kind of stuff. It's really geared for very intensive packet processing. We now have opened this thing to partners, and we have a development kit, if you will. Just send us an email. This will be shipping soon, but for now, we want to get the NVAs to port to it, if you will. And as a proof point, I want to show you what one of our partners have done. So A10 is one of our NVA partners. There's a session on this thing coming up soon as well. They have a wide portfolio of appliances. We worked with them in the last couple of months on porting their appliances to DBDK and Azure. And this is what they've achieved. Lots of words here, but look at the yellow line. They've achieved 10x performance improvement in packet preprocessing. And they can get nearly the 30 gig as well at line rate, with much reduced latency and jitter as well. So if you want to know more about this, or you want to participate in this thing, here's the session number. I think this was on Thursday, but I'll show you the schedule in a second. So guys, we are fast. We can move bits around. We can move them quickly with low latency and low jitter. And we now show you real applications using that stack as well. And this is available to you. Okay. I want to move to connectivity now and tell you about investments we've been doing in the Express route, the new feature for VNet peering, and so forth. So this is the node slide from Express route. It's our private connectivity solution. You can use it to bypass the internet, go to our partners, old slide. We have simplified things here again. Remember the theme, guys. We want to make it simpler. So here's what we changed. We've reduced the number of peerings that you had to go configure for Express route. Now it's a much simpler model, easier to understand. You're either using a peering to get to finished services, if you will, Office 365 Dynamics, or you're using Express route to get your VNet. No more this third peering types we had in between and the issues with it as well. So that's a big simplification we have done. Basically, we have merged the so-called public and the Microsoft peerings into one type of peering. We also now have support for route filters. This will significantly, in some scenarios, reduce the number of routes that you will be advertised from Express route back to you. So you no longer have to consume all the routes. You can actually filter what routes you want to actually expose into your network. We now have IPv6 support for the Microsoft peering path. So specifically, you can use IPv6 for Office 365 if you want to. And we've improved monitoring considerably. I'm going to show you screenshots. This has been a very highly asked feature, by the way. Something went wrong. Whose fault is it? Is it Express route? Is it my partner? Is it my device on-prem? So we'll show you now how using OMS NPM, you can actually debug the whole path end-to-end as well. Before I go there, we have tripled our partner ecosystem from Express route from the last year to today. We're virtually everywhere around the globe, not in Antarctica yet, but otherwise, if you want to connect to us from anywhere, we have a partner to work with you on this. We are in 44 locations physically, and one or more of those partners can get your traffic to one of those locations and to us as well. These cover the major telcos, all the way down to regional providers and service providers around the globe. And if you don't find your provider here, I'm being serious, give me a call, because we have to have you. We will cover it all. Okay, so I'm also happy to announce that now we have global VNet peering. Last year we had within region, intra-region VNet peering, if you remember this, guys. So you can take a VNet, another VNet, bypass the gateways, and just connect them directly at line speed, basically. Now you can do the same thing across regions. You don't have to use a gateway. You can mix it. You can mix and match, by the way, but you don't have to do any of the stuff. So it extends peering to cross-region VNets. Region 1, Region 2. It's really simple and quick to configure. No heavy lifting configuration, no IPsec configuration, or anything like that. And for a number of applications, for example, cross-region database application over the same private IP address ranges, if you want your subnets, this works very nicely as well. There are cases you want to use this thing. There are some cases you want to use a VPN gateway if you want to use BGP support. But this is another tool in your arsenal. And it can really make configuration for such things very, very easy, by the way. And of course, all such traffic goes over our WAN. So, give you the complete picture here. You can do express route. You know about this, just private connectivity. Get you high throughput with quality of service, basically bypassing the internet. You can do VPN. You can do site-to-site VPN. The power of this, by the way, is that you can build very sophisticated topologies with this, with all the BGP support we have in there. You can do VNet peering, and now we can do more things as well. So this slide has some new things here. I already mentioned the express route new stuff in the previous slide. For VPN, our new VPN SKU now is basically 6 times the performance of our old SKU. And I promise you, we're going to improve that too as well. We have more plans for this space. In addition, we've improved monitoring and logging quite a bit. Again, the same theme, guys. You guys are building very sophisticated topologies with this stuff, so the monitoring has improved quite a bit as well. For point-to-site, we now have also support for Mac OS clients. So previously, you had to have a Windows client to do a point-to-site VPN into Azure VNets. Now it will work for Windows and for Mac OS as well. And we now have AD authentication for clients. So not necessarily the old way of having to have separate certs and the like. You can use AD as well now for this. And as you probably know, point-to-site is very useful for debugging operations, dev and test operations, and the like. And many of our developers use Mac OS, so they can use it as well now. We also have a new feature in DNS that's coming soon. This is going to be a few weeks from now. In Azure, we have something called Azure DNS. You can use it to host your public zones, which are, you can get to them from the internet. Now we can configure zones within your VNet. So you can have a zone within your VNet, host your DNS names within the VNet, and only resolvable from within the VNet. Moreover, you can do this scenario. Have a public zone and a private zone for the same names. And depending where you resolve from, you get a different IP address. The power here is immense, by the way, guys. You can do all sorts of scenarios for, depending if you're accessing it privately or publicly. And you don't have to have the public side. You can just stick to the private part. There's no installation of DNS service. There's no configuration to speak of. It's the same command set we have today for the public Azure DNS. Just say the zone is private. And you say which VNet or VNets should be able to get to your zone, and you go from there. This will be available 3 to 4 weeks from now. We want to tell you about it because it's almost done. We're rolling it as we speak. I'm going to quickly skip the next 2 slides because we have sessions on this. These are more details about the point-to-site new features. Again, the whole session on that. And the VPN configuration. We also have a new feature to simplify on-prem VPN device configuration. Short answer is you get you a custom policy and a configuration script. You push it through, you're up and running. There's a session on this, guys. But again, same theme. I want to make it simpler for you guys because this stuff was not easy. Okay. Now I would like to invite our guest speakers. Jay Chaudhry is the CEO of Zscaler, a partner of ours. And he'll be telling you more about Zscaler and also our partnerships, which we announced today, where they are building on Azure, one of their important services. So, Jay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jay.
Good afternoon. You saw how applications are moving to Azure, and Microsoft is addressing fast access, security, performance, all the functionality. I'm going to talk about a new way to access applications in Azure Cloud using Zscaler Private Access. Our goal was simple. Make sure users have great experience and you have security at the same time. I started this company 9 years ago. The goal was simple. If applications move to the cloud, if all information sits on the internet, why should we have to buy, deploy, and manage security appliances on-prem? So with that notion, we started early, Now we have, 35 billion requests going to the cloud every day, going through 100-some data centers, and traffic coming to us from 185 countries, with 2,700 very large customers. This is names like GE and Nestle and Siemens and United Airlines and P&G, and it goes on and on. There are over 15 million users who go through our cloud every day. So you know Zscaler because of our Zscaler internet access to internet safely with local breakouts. Today, we're going to talk about access to internal and private applications that may be sitting in your data center or in Azure. So looking at how things are done today, over the past 30 years, we built security using what I call castle and moat architecture. Your applications and users are sitting in your data centers, and using on-prem security boxes, you build a perimeter. And then you have lots of branches. So you essentially create a hub and spoke network. So all traffic comes back to your data center, either to access those applications or go to the internet because your gateway is sitting at a few places. What happens when applications move to Azure? The center of gravity starts changing. The network designed as hub and spoke made sense when all applications sat in the data center. As applications move, traditionally the access is left behind. How is traditionally applications access on a public cloud? Well, there's a DMZ with a bunch of appliances with global load balancers, DDoS protection, firewall layers, VPN concentrators. And then you have a site-to-site VPN from your data center to the cloud. And a user who is on the road typically is asked to come in so they could go out and then come back in. It gets convoluted. Ideally, you want the users to go directly to Azure. Well, it's not easy to take that stack and put it in the cloud. And trying to do it the same old way probably doesn't make sense either. So Zscaler came up with a very new revolutionary approach that kind of says, why should we do things the way they have been done before? Well, we came up with 4 key tenets. And these are some fundamental tenets. Number 1, you bring users on the network through VPN so they could access applications. Why should we connect users to network? Why not connect them directly to applications? Because if they're on your network, they can have lateral movement. It's a security risk. If you put applications in the cloud and you expose them to internet, there's a risk, DDoS and others. So we said the second tenet is, we should provide you access without you having to expose your applications to the internet. It's a big deal. It's a very different way of thinking. 3, everyone wants application segmentation. To do that, they have to think about network segmentation. We said, what if we only connected to a given applications and we could give you app segmentation without having to worry about network segmentation? And 4th was that you should be able to access application in the cloud directly without VPN, just like go to salesforce.com. With those tenets, we built Zscaler Private Access, where you have a policy engine sitting in the middle. You got Z connector sitting in front of Azure, which actually opens an inside-out connection. There's no outside-in connection allowed. A microtunnel starts from the endpoint. We integrate with Azure AD to understand authentication and policy, and a tunnel starts from inside. A tunnel starts from the app. We connect the two and essentially connect a user to a specific application period. It results in great response time and very good security. We have been working with Microsoft for the last several months to do full integration to give you far better experience. So our Zscaler Brokers, which is part of the cloud that connects these tunnels, it's running on Azure Cloud, sitting right next to your Azure applications, so delivering better performance. We have full integration with Azure Active Directory with conditional access type of very innovative features. And we're planning to integrate with Enterprise Mobility Suite. End result, user experience, very important. Great security, lower cost, and simplicity of managing and running this whole operation. With that, I'm going to ask John Graham, CISO of Jabil, come to stage and share with us how he has been doing his transformation journey to the cloud.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
So, I had an opportunity to begin working with Jay about 3 years ago. I joined Jabil. Jabil is a global manufacturer. We're about 180,000 employees. We're around 18 billion in revenue, and we've got around 110 sites globally. I came in there about 4 years ago as the CISO and began looking at how do we secure and how do we work quickly to increase the maturity of the security in the space. We bumped into Jay and Zscaler at the time, and we've been running it since early 2014. As he's been discussing, we're now moving into the Office and the Azure space. We moved over to Office 365 about a year ago in October. We've been using Azure, we've been using ExpressRoute, and we're very excited about what's happening now. As Jay mentioned, the application space and how do you segment that is a key to what I've been looking at and what our teams have been looking at relative to securing data of our customers and our own operations. The other piece is, as he described, is not having this notion of that hard outer shell anymore in how we're dealing with network security and looking at it from a global perspective, right, as we bring on more and more cloud services. So we're, again, very excited about this journey and having the marriage between Microsoft and what Zscaler is doing. And last but not least, and we had some discussions earlier about this in a different session, the visibility that we're getting and the ability for us to leverage these solutions that are cloud-based and not have my team having to manage on-prem devices, and the advantage that we're getting out of the transparency to the end user has been really, really phenomenal. So with that, I just gave a quick overview of where we've been and where we're trying to go. And I think that if you haven't recognized it as a security practitioner, the space is changing so rapidly. Mm-hmm. Our thought process from an architectural standpoint has even changed within about the 12-month cycle, if you will. Okay? So it's moving fast, and I believe that you've got some real thought leadership with what Microsoft's doing and what Zscaler's doing.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yusuf, thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, John. So I'll tell you now about our monitoring improvements, and I'll be then handing the floor to Jason from Starbucks. So very quickly, I mentioned this already, a highly asked feature is better monitoring end-to-end through ExpressRoute. So I'm happy to show you today that through Network Performance Monitor and OMS, you can now continuously monitor end-to-end from your VNet all the way to your on-premises devices and everything in between. You can get continuous monitoring for the whole path. You can also monitor connectivity. Yeah, and you have all the power of OMS for this, by the way. Alerting, looking at drop packet, latency, and so forth. All the metrics, all the connection metrics, this is all going through end-to-end from the NPM agent on-premises to optionally your agents in the cloud as well, and anything in between. We collect information from the hardware devices and give you a complete picture of how the whole thing really works. And the big thing is we want to be able to localize networking issues. We don't want finger pointing. I don't want to be on the call to answer you why it's not my problem, it's your problem. You know the story. With this thing, it's really easy. So you bring it up and you look at the stuff, and we can quickly know where things are. And of course, you can do analysis. You can plug it into tooling and so forth as well. You can set alerts and know in advance where things are really going and not working well. Anyway, guys, we also have a session on this, and we can show you through a demo, hands-on, end-to-end, how this whole thing really is working. Okay? So I want to just move on quickly now. We, in addition, have been improving the other aspect of our portal through NetWatcher as well. So NetWatcher is the entry point in which you can do topology visualization, packet capture. This is old stuff for us, guys. IP flow verify to see where the flows are going, and do a lot of VPN diagnostics. We've been incrementally improving in this space. Don't ask me exactly when we ship every feature on this stuff because we move quickly in NetWatcher. In addition, today, we now have connectivity diagnostics in NetWatcher as well. It's an extra click on the left-hand side and gives you a way to diagnose connectivity and latency issues between different points, between VMs and some endpoint. And you can see the list here between the URL, IPv4 addresses, and so forth. And it can help you in debugging connectivity within the cloud and within your application as well. So the theme here is you're going to see more and more showing up in this space. And if you have specific ideas or requests, please shoot them our way. Also, we've been improving Azure Traffic Manager. This is our global load balancer. It's DNS-based. So now you can actually augment the Traffic Manager with data from your application. And we have integration with Visual Studio Mobile Center for this. So you can embed JavaScript in your application. Use that information to inform the load balancing decisions we make on your behalf through Traffic Manager. So we've always collected information from our own entry points. We collect information from all sorts of things, guys, from Bing web pages and Outlook client and whatever telemetry we have. But now you can go influence the traffic based on how your application, how your clients are using it. And it's very easy to use. It's a click on Visual Studio, a piece of code is dropped in your application, and here you go. Lastly, this last bullet is actually good. You get new traffic views now on how traffic flow is hitting your application from different specific regions. So we're going to give you more insights how your customers are using your service as well. Thank you. Okay, guys. So I have been telling you about how great the platform is, but there's nothing better than you hear from an actual user and actual customer. So I'm happy to introduce Jason from Starbucks, who will tell us more about their journey using Azure. Thank you, Jason.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Horn. I'm an engineer with Starbucks. I've been working on all things cloud there. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about our cloud journey, what we've been doing, and how it kind of reflects what we did from a network architecture standpoint. We initially started about a couple years ago, and our initial efforts were entirely around a lift and shift. We're going to take our existing applications and just take them and move them into the cloud. We looked at that for a little while, and we really kind of determined that there really wasn't a lot of value for us in doing that, right? We were just taking what we did today, what we've always done, and just doing it somewhere else. So we stepped back a bit, took a look, and decided to see how we could really get value out of moving to the cloud. We took a look across all of our applications and recognized that we really needed to modernize some of our applications. We needed to provide more autonomy to our application teams. We really wanted to leverage the infrastructure as code mindset and really try to speed up our delivery and give our application teams just more ability to get things done quicker and faster. This is a overview of our. This is a conceptual overview of what we did in East US. Right, we did this both in East and West. Essentially, if you go from the top to the bottom, the top is the internet, the bottom is our on-prem. In the middle there is just an example application subscription with multiple subnets. We link every application subnet to another subscription that we have shared services running in. We've got a VNet specifically for shared services, things like Active Directory, DNS, et cetera. And then we have a VNet specifically for ingress and egress from the internet. We don't allow direct connections from the Azure subscriptions, from the internet in, because everything's attached to ExpressRoute. We utilize user-defined routing to ensure that the egress traffic, we always want to make sure that we inspect that as well. So every subnet, we have a route that sends all traffic out our egress stack so that we can look at it. We're using ExpressRoute in both East and West. We didn't have a use case for public peering. And for all of our applications, we use NSGs for microsegmentation. Some of the implementation details around this, I mentioned ExpressRoute. We separated out our production and non-production network entirely. Our subscription approach kind of followed that, so we also went with a subscription per application team approach, and they have production and non-production subscription. Like I mentioned, those subscriptions are linked to the corresponding production or non-production security stacks that we have. We had to create a custom RBAC role in Azure because the existing ones didn't quite fit what we wanted to do. We really needed to, we still wanted to, kind of build the guardrails for the application teams, but there were certain, really around the network functions that we needed to limit, right? So an example of that, we pulled out their capability of actually creating public IPs inside their subscription. To get around that, after we pulled a lot of that capability, we had to give it back, right? We were still trying to enable application team autonomy. So we leveraged Azure Automation to, we created runbooks that they could call either via the portal or via the API to actually create out the networking in their subscription, to also assign permissions when they needed to get a little more granular than what we gave by default. We also are using runbooks to audit the NSGs the application teams are controlling, right, to make sure that they're following our guidelines, not creating wide open any rules anywhere, and just to ensure that we've got those guardrails in place. Lastly, we are actually still working on what we call the service registry application, which is really just a repository of information for the application teams to use, so that they can put in their application, their ports, protocols, and decide if they need to talk to another and do an integration with another application, and those ports and protocols will be listed to really enable that and to move faster. We had a few challenges. A lot of them have been resolved. A lot of them were looking to some of the new features that were just announced. One of the things early on that we discovered, our initial design, right, our first design really before VNet peering was there, we really had to look at having security stacks in every subscription. That really was not going to be very sustainable. We came out with VNet peering, and we adopted that so that we could pair all our subscriptions to a shared security stack. One of the challenges we still have, as I mentioned, we removed the public IP addresses from subscriptions. Well, there's a lot of, I'd call it hybrid PaaS services or third-party things in the marketplace that assume that you have that capability. So we just have to look at those before we implement them and see if they work in our environment and see how we can work around it. We had some early challenges with our security stack implementation, right? We had issues around VM skill sets. One of the ones that we were using, we needed multiple, it was multi-honed. We needed to be able to do a skill set to scale out. It didn't initially support it, but now it does. Another challenge that we've had with the availability of our virtual appliances was around just getting HA, and also with putting them behind a load balancer. The current load balancer didn't have a lot of flexibility in the number of ports that we can call out. Really not on our egress side. We really wanted to allow all ports out. That's being addressed with an announcement here at Ignite. The NSG is fairly complex, right? We had a lot of rules that needed to be implemented. We had a lot of rules that we kind of mandated, right? We just leveraged automation, scripting, and predefined templates that the application teams could then utilize and deploy. Lastly, ExpressRoute was kind of initially when we deployed it, was a bit of a kind of a black box for us. We didn't have a lot of visibility, especially on the Azure side, but we're looking forward to some of the new enhancements that they just announced around OMS monitoring. That's all I have. Thank you. I just want to say that if you want to do cool things, we are hiring. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn or Twitter. Thank you.
So guys, I'm gonna sum by reviewing the features quickly, then show you a table of all the sessions. And since we have a few more minutes, I'm gonna ask the team to come over here, and you guys can leave or come and ask us questions, okay? So in any case, here's a summary of what we announced today, guys. The areas should be self-evident. You heard a lot about security, monitoring, availability, performance, and connectivity. I hope we impressed on you that simplicity and making things easier for you has been a push from our side. And I really mean it, guys. Give us feedback on that, because I know if something is easier to use, you will use it. You'll be less error-prone and so forth. Beyond that, it's really the scale. We have been behind the covers, increasing the physical scale of the network. I don't want you to worry about anything as far as bandwidth or do have enough of this stuff. We'll take care of that. But also making sure the software, our software, can give you the bandwidth you need and the latency and so forth. Now, this is the table I promised. We have 6 more sessions from now through Friday. We added a topic column because I realized that the titles were not self-descriptive. So right after this presentation, there's a DDoS protection presentation. It's one of those expo theaters. GR is going to give this talk. I recommend this thing if you really want to know anything about DDoS, nitty-gritty, where we are in the schedule, what's coming up next. Tomorrow we have 2 exciting presentations, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. There's an express route presentation with all the details, including the NPM OMS monitoring I mentioned, and all the other details of logging and manageability aspects we have for express route. In the afternoon, there is a talk that will combine the network security groups and service endpoints. If you are into security, you have to go to this presentation, guys. You really have to. On Thursday, VNets and VPN, global peering, global VNet peering, a bunch of other things as well covered there. And in the afternoon, you'll know a lot more about load balancing in general. The new load balancer, app gateway, and the WAF. And Friday, we're going to sum with an all-up presentation on the monitoring investments we've been doing in NetWatcher and across the stack as well. Okay, guys? That's basically it. So, guys, we always look forward to meeting you. So I'm going to ask the team to come over here. We'll be around for the rest of the day, for the rest of the event as well. Thank you very much.